Welcome back to New Rockstars. I'm Eric Voss, and the Batman trailer shows Robert Pattinson investigating who used the last of the duct tape. Was it Paul Dano as the Riddler, or is the who in that question really referring to the Court of Owls? The shadowy DC villains I explained in yesterday's video. Who could be the masterminds pulling the strings to even Batman himself? Go check out that video if you haven't already. I broke down the court's source material history and laid out my case for how they could tie into the Batman movie plot. Here, I'm gonna go back through this trailer frame by frame to point out the many owl sightings and references hiding in plain sight to show you how legit my theory could actually be. Spoiler warning for all things the Batman, all things owls, and how many owl licks it takes to get to the center of a disappointing lollipop. Oh, the raspberry part's over.
If there's anything I can't stand, it's a smart owl.
Okay, the first and most obvious owl sighting in the trailer is the Riddler's first clue, the love note left for the Batman at the crime scene. The riddle wasn't just the wordplay inside the card, which we have decoded. What does a liar do when he's dead? He lies still. The riddle was also the card itself. A weird-ass gropey skeleton trying to make friends with an owl who hoots hoo-hoo, which I pointed out earlier this week was a turn of phrase achieved by adding an extra O, which the Riddler also does with the second clue, making the DA, District Attorney, DOA, dead on arrival. Also worth noting, on the cover of this card is a bat in the moon, essentially the bat signal, but with a bat way smaller in that circle and more insignificant. And in the Court of Owl comics, it is pointed out how owls are natural predators of bats. They're also predators of my heart. I love birds. So before we even open the Riddler's card to try to decipher his message, he is already screaming at us, "Hello, Batman, these owls are coming for you and they got spooky skeletons in their closet, so look out." Okay, next in recent videos, I've combined this clue with the Riddler's later cryptic words.
If you are justice, please do not lie. What is the price for your blind eye?
A rhyming phrase that could contain multiple meanings, but one that I ultimately interpreted as a nod to Lady Justice, who is blindfolded, an icon of the courtroom. So owl plus court equals owl of court. Court of Owls. Now, in recent days, many have posted what they believe to be another Court of Owls sighting in the trailer. The shot when Batman ascends the stairwell, he passes by someone who, for one brief frame, appears to be wearing a white owl mask? Okay, look, while I love the obsessive frame-by-frame clue hunting I might have helped inspire across the internet, we call it frame by frame because you can't just look at one frame out of context. This person's face is just illuminated white because a gunshot flash overexposed their face with their perfectly angled jawline. A few frames before and a few frames after, it's just a normal face. I'm sorry to force you to roll up that jump to conclusions mat. The real issue with this being a Court of Owls mask is the court never wears their white masks out in public like this. Their power comes from the people of Gotham thinking they're a mythical urban legend. They're the devils who tricked the world into thinking they didn't exist. And if dumbass juror number 12 were to walk around in public, he'd probably get a talon sent for his head. However, you're not wrong for keeping your eye peeled for this kind of image, because at a different part of the trailer, Batman confronts Selina Kyle when she breaks into the crime scene. What is Selina doing here, by the way? I'll explore that in tomorrow's episode of Rogue Theory. But for now, look at the shelf behind Batman. Every other time in this trailer that we've been in this room, the camera has been pointed elsewhere, but in this one brief angle, on the shelf is a white mask. It's out of focus, but it's not too much of a stretch to suggest this mask could be one of the Court of Owls hiding in plain sight among the mayor's many collectibles. It also wouldn't be too surprising to see owl imagery in this room, because I don't think it's the only owl clue hiding in the crime scene. But before we continue, thank you to Skillshare for sponsoring this video. Skillshare is an online learning community that offers membership with meaning. With so much to explore, real projects to create, and the support of fellow creatives, Skillshare empowers you to accomplish real growth. Skillshare offers classes designed for real life. You can learn and grow with short classes that fit any schedule. Spontaneous acts of creativity may help break up the routine of a day spent indoors, and learning is a great way to fend off boredom. They have classes and topics New Rockstars fans will enjoy, like animation, film, video, music production. Class I'm really interested in checking out is science fiction and fantasy, creating unique and powerful worlds, taught by Lincoln Michelle, a creative writing professor at Columbia, and Sarah Lawrence. The class focuses on how to create new and unique worlds while having those worlds reflect back on us and make us see our reality differently. Skillshare is curated specifically for learning. There are no no ads, and they're always launching new premium classes so you can stay focused and follow wherever your creativity takes you. And it's less than $10 a month with an annual subscription. And the first 1,000 of my subscribers to click the link in the description will get a 2-month free trial of premium membership so you can explore your creativity. Just click the link in the description below. Okay, back to the owl clues of this crime scene. One of the other details we spotted in our breakdown but didn't linger on for too long was the body's left hand. When the cops have arrived, a paper bag is covering it. But earlier, when the Riddler was alone with this dead mayor, you can see something on the left hand, maybe a ring. I believe this ring may have been removed, maybe defaced, maybe something added to the finger, or maybe the whole finger or the whole hand was severed. It reminds me a lot of the Court of Owls comic, which opens with a corpse that, upon an autopsy investigation, reveals a tooth filling imprinted with an image of an owl. The first of many clues leading to Batman's discovery of the Court of Owls' existence. This messed with hand may be a similar first clue in this movie. Also, it might be nothing, but the mayor's office also contained a portrait of a creepy old dude, which I get, lots of people keep creepy portraits around their homes to scream at while they swirl their scotch. No! But it's also possible that the identity of this old dude could be someone who ties into the Court of Owls' long history running Gotham City from the shadows, an operation that could have helped Don Mitchell Jr. win his third term, but an operation now finally getting brought to light with his murder. Some have also said there's another possible owl sighting on the SUV of who we believe to be Peter Sarsgaard as District Attorney Gil Colson, crashing Mitchell's funeral with the Riddler's next clue and a neck bomb. The lettering on the window behind Colson does look to be kind of like illustrated. Something else has been drawn in there, maybe? But the frames where the car passes Bruce during his dive, the letters do look like D, O, and A, so I'm thinking maybe the window glass has just been shattered. But the real detail here is the portrait of the mayor. In the later shot when the bomb explodes, you can see that portrait shows him wearing a red lapel pin. In the comics, a huge realization comes when Bruce, thinking his battle with the Court of Owls is over, sees a portrait of his mother and father with Martha wearing a misshapen heart lapel pin, exactly like the one once described to Bruce by the mayoral candidate Lincoln March, who said his mother gave him a pin like that. It leads to some real crazy twists involving the Wayne family. Again, go check out yesterday's video for that breakdown. I think this pin could be a similar kind of clue pointing to the late mayor's involvement with the Court of Owls, a discovery that Bruce could make when he later re-examines the charred remnants of this blast crater. But perhaps the biggest clue is one that we have had under our noses for months. Everyone's favorite moment of the trailer, when Batman beats the piss out of this stuff. Very briefly, during the hits, you can see Batman's gauntlets, which are lined with these quill-like projectiles, almost exactly like the gauntlets worn by Talon in the comics. Talon is the executioner of the Court of Owls, the one they deploy to assassinate rising threats to their control of Gotham. Yesterday's video ended with my theory that this young Batman could be secretly being used as an unwitting executioner by the Court of Owls, taking cases from a corrupt criminal justice system that they put in place. And now the Riddler is breaking down that system to expose Batman to his own role in the system that he's been casting a blind eye to.
You're part of this too.
How am I part of it?
You'll see.
Yeah, you'll see are the final word. Your blind eye earlier. Riddler is promising to cure Batman of his blindness. So maybe we're not so crazy for seeing a white owl mask flashing past Batman in the heat of the moment, even if it was an illusion. Because this is gonna be a story about Batman's perception widening to see threats hiding in plain sight all around him, evolving him into the cynical, paranoid Dark Knight that we know him to be. This guy might just start seeing owls everywhere, just like us. Again, stay tuned for tomorrow's Rogue Theory episode for more on how Selina Kyle fits into all of this. I really do think she's the final piece of the puzzle. Help us decode the mystery on New Rockstar's official Discord server, which you can access by becoming a patron at any tier at patreon.com/newrockstars. Follow me on Instagram at EAVoss, follow New Rockstars, subscribe, and hit that notification bell for the latest deep dives into everything you care about. Thanks for watching, Batman.